Hello, welcome everybody. And hi, Denise Cox. How are you?
Hi, Miriam. I'm good. We're very excited. It's a great day.
Yes, it is because it's book launch day.
Yeah.
Con- Congratulations. Let's show everybody your book and tell them the title.
That's Here she is. It's Everywhere Grandma, a story of love, loss, and connection. Yeah.
Mm, so good, so good. Denise, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, this book came from a dark place. 5 years ago in March, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And it was at that time that I was questioning my mortality. So maybe not the same place where a lot of children's books come from, but I remember thinking in the night, will I ever meet my grandchildren? I still don't have any grandchildren, but I'm 5 years cancer free and healthy and feeling great. And so at that time, though, I questioned how would I have these little people know how much I love them, even though I'm not here? Because,
Mhm.
I do believe that love crosses boundaries. It's not just love here on earth. There's love all around. So it was like, well, how could I keep that message alive, or how would I do this? But that's where my inspiration came from. So yeah, that's
That is amazing, Denise. That is so amazing. So first of all, I'm so glad you're cancer free. That is so great. What this made you think of what you wanted to do and how you wanted to show that. And now we get to enjoy all of that thinking, that difficult time that brought you to this, that brought you to this. Can you tell everybody what is the book about and who would you say it's for?
so I would say the book, well, it's about a little girl named Harper, and she has two grandmas. One is here with us and one is not. One she has never met. So the story is about Harper learning a mantra and with practice, learning to connect with this everywhere grandma who's called Nana in the story. Um, she's modeled after my mom. So a lot of this whole book process brought me feeling really close to my mom again, who's not with us. So anyways, it's about Harper and yes, learning through different trials and things in her life that she can actually connect with this person she's never met. So it's a bit of a leap of faith, but
Mhm,
it's about that. And so Harper in the story, she's 7 years old. The book, we do have it as being from 4 to 8 year old, but it'd be a pretty mature 4 year old to be able to, I guess, have this sense. But anyways, but it's yeah, so it's 4 to 8, but it's also for, I would say, the parents that are reading this book who have lost a parent, who, they're still dealing with a loss. I mean, a loss is a loss and grieving continues and things
mhm.
like that. And the book's not a sad book, but it's just I think there's something in there for everyone because we've all lost something, if not a parent, someone. And so it just helps us kind of think a little bit about remembering people and how
Yes.
to remember. So yeah.
Denise, I really appreciate you writing this book. And I had never thought of that concept, everywhere grandma. It could be everywhere dog, right? It could be everywhere pet. But the idea that they're still around us and that we can reach out to them. I really enjoy that concept and that the fact that you put it into a book. And I also enjoyed the mantra that you shared in the book. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Um, sure. Well, that was one of the challenges. I know you're going to ask me about challenges, so but we'll talk about this now because it was
Yes.
it was definitely a challenge to figure out how will this child connect because obviously, yeah, they would have to believe. I mean, I do believe that kids, they are innocent, they are trusting, they believe in things, and so. Um, Yeah, the mantra just to me made sort of a connection. It made something concrete, something that you could actually put your hand on your heart and go, oh yeah, there's love here. And I don't know, it just, I guess using your imagination, you could, yeah, just
Mhm.
feel that. And I'm not sure if I
Yes.
did that correctly,
Well,
but
you did. You did. I was I really appreciated the mantra and I enjoyed reading that and I think it's great to be teaching kids that. So, let me go into this question. What is it that you hope that parents and kids will take away from this book?
well, okay, I would love to know that someone might use the mantra, that they could use it sort of as a tool in just in little challenges in life or just in just yeah, just feeling like you're not alone. Just
Hmm.
just almost I know partly I was thinking, this everywhere grandma is almost like an invisible friend, someone that's always with you, someone
Yes.
is on your side, that's cheering for you, that's, you know, even though they're not there, they're there. So, but I would hope too that the story is a conversation starter in families. It keeps people's memories alive, that it just opens up conversations and just yeah, just these people that are not with us anymore, they're equally as important, even if they're not here, and
Yes.
I do in the story, one of the characters is named after a friend of mine who did pass away on her in her breast cancer journey, Grandma Pauline, and that's like very special. So, you know, these people we need to remember them. So yeah,
Yes, for
that's
sure.
that's my biggest takeaways if people can start conversations and like maybe use the mantra.
Yes, yes. I see people using that for sure. And I love that you said earlier, this is not a sad book. This is a book with a lot of joy, with a lot of things that children are going through. And it's a story of love, loss, and connection. I love that in your title right there, Everywhere Grandma. Friends, this book is available today on Amazon. So make sure to go there and grab a copy of this book. And I love it when books can be conversation starters, when we can sit down with our kids and start these conversations and let kids ask questions because they have them. So it's there in all the versions, softcover, hardcover, ebook format. Go to Amazon today. So I started asking you a little bit about your journey as an author. You talked to me already about challenges, the challenge of figuring out the mantra. What about lessons? What would you say was the biggest lesson for you when publishing this book?
I think one of the biggest lessons is that no one has to do the life journey on their own. They certainly don't have to do their book writing journey on their own. This writing of children's book became not just my project, it became a family project. So my husband, my daughters, my son, and well, other people, but for sure my family was sort of my team. And yeah, I started out feeling very much like an imposter, like I am not an author. What am I doing here? But just, yeah, it's okay to ask for help. Sharing helps us grow. Sharing helps us heal. I feel writing this story and doing all this work has helped me on my healing journey more than just writing a story. So yeah, I think that's one of my biggest lessons is that sometimes you got to be bold, um, and just love is all around us. And, it's okay to ask for help and
Mhm.
people want to help, you know,
Yes.
I'm not a big social media person, but I needed some help and I called up friends and they came and, like it's great. So don't be afraid of that. That's one of the biggest takeaways.
Mhm. I like that lesson. I think there's some people hearing us here, just listening to the interview that may be really taking that on. It's okay to ask for help. For sure. We all need to do it. We're not meant to do this alone. Well, now that you shared about your family, I'm excited about them picking up your children, especially your book, sharing it with their friends. I know that's always special. That's always special in a family when a project becomes that, a family project, and everybody feels invested and cheers you on in the process. Let's talk about your illustrations. I really enjoyed them. Can you tell me a little bit about your illustrator and what it was like to work with them?
Yes, Jaja Hamner, physicist turned illustrator, no less. Um, Probably, well, I don't want to say the best choice I made throughout this journey, but for sure one of the best choices I made. Jaja is super creative. Her use of color, just her her just knowing what I wanted to accomplish with the story, like from day one, she knew the feeling that I wanted to portray. She just got it. She was super, just willing to try things. She was super patient because I would, I said like my team, I'd be like, well, I need to consult with the team and then we'll, get back with some feedback. So she was super just easy to work with and just I look at this story and I think, you know, these illustrations just make it so much more. And it's
Mm,
it's fun. I think it's super fun. I mean, there's
yes.
some darker moments where there's some tension, but overall, it's bright and it's colorful and I just yeah,
Yeah.
just
Beautiful. She did a beautiful job.
yeah, he did for sure.
Okay. And what is the best part of accomplishing this dream for you, Denise, to have your book out, to be a published author today?
Um The best part, well, I can answer in two ways. I can answer personally. I know I've evolved as a person. I, I was a stay-at-home mom as my career, and so I was those roles. But now I feel like I'm more Denise. I'm not just, the wife, the mother, and that. But yeah, I've been calling it more Denise. So. I definitely find that as an accomplishment that I've just been able to do that. And I worked through, a lot of hard feelings as it's gone on, it's not easy. You kind of get back into that almost the cancer diagnosis feeling and it's like, oh, it's dark. But I feel so much lighter, really.
Mhm.
And and also I feel like it's an accomplishment that I even when I talk about my friend Pauline, I know her family will appreciate it. I think there's lessons to be learned by all kinds of people, and so I think the story could be helpful for a lot of people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can see that. I love that you're proud of yourself. I think that's one of the things that we underestimate when we accomplish something like this, publishing a book, the pride that we feel because we did it. And it's at the beginning, like you said, it's that imposter syndrome. It's the fear that comes in, and then you slowly lean into it. And here you are, a published author. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you, Denise. Um, Now, what advice do you have for an aspiring author who may be watching?
Well, some advice I would have is that you don't have to be a decades old, have a decades old dream of becoming an author. I certainly did not. There are a lot of people out there, it's their life dream. And mine came later. It came 5 years ago. I don't know. I don't think you don't have to be an avid reader, which I like reading, but I'm not an avid reader. So you can you can be, like I say, not having this dream for a long time or even having coming in with the greatest or the clearest idea. I came in with a feeling and not even really a story. So, it's through exploration and really just spending time thinking and reflecting and just knowing what you want. Like if you have an idea or a lesson, something you want to share, like someone wants to hear it. So
Hmm.
just don't be thinking, again, it's kind of the imposter. Don't think that your idea is not great. Like it might be the greatest idea or just the
Yeah.
right idea for someone who's going to pick up your book. So,
Yes. 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 I love that advice. Um, and I cannot help but think when you were saying, when I asked you, what's the best part of accomplishing this, is you started writing, or what you shared is through the cancer diagnosis. What would your grandchildren think? Right. And now you have a legacy, you have a book to leave for, I mean, you are going to get to meet your grandchildren, but you know what I mean. This is a family legacy, and I love seeing how good can come out of a tough situation. So, Denise, thank you for writing this.
Thank you. Thanks for, having this program that allowed me to trust in the process. And, were there struggles? Yes. And was I maybe not always on the timeline? But, everyone understands it's still my timeline, and I have to, do certain things to achieve the next step. So, and yeah, so it was a great process with
Mhm,
the team, and just knowing there was support there. And so,
mhm.
yeah.
Yes, you're on your timeline, and here we are celebrating your book. That's the most important thing. So, friends, make sure to go to Amazon and grab a copy of Everywhere Grandma. Share it with kids in your lives, share it with the people in your lives. Go to Amazon today. That's the best thing that we could do for our new authors is support them. And it's a celebration day. Denise has been through so much work to get to this point, and today is her day. And besides going to Amazon, Denise, where else can our viewers find you?
Well, I have my Instagram, which is Denise Cox Books, and I have a website, denisecoxbooks.com. So that's
Excellent.
where you can find me.
Excellent. Okay, go find her there. And then my last question, I always want to make sure you share everything you wanted to share. Is there anything you wish I would have asked you or anything else you want to say before we go?
I mean, I think the questions you asked were great, and I hope I answered them well. Um, the only thing, and I did kind of write a few things down because I just thought it was important for me, that just this process, it's so much more than just writing a book. Becoming an author of a children's book, it gives you some freedom. It gives you freedom to create, and writing is healing, and creativity is an outlet for that. So yeah, I just think it's definitely, yeah, creativity is freedom, and writing your story and going through this illustration process, you can add so many personal touches into your stories, like Easter eggs, and it's just it's a really cool process. And I just also just like love your families, love your community, and just always remember wherever they are, if they're here, if they're everywhere, love is all around us. So that's what I'd like to say. Yeah.
That's a beautiful message to end this interview with. Everywhere, Grandma, and love is all around us. There we go. There we go. Well, thank you, friends, for being here. And Denise, enjoy your book launch date. Celebrate with your family. You said it was a team effort. So go
Yeah.
ahead and celebrate with all of them. Thank you. Thanks for being here.